There's a little problem that I've been milling over in my head, trying to nail down all the different various points, and kind of figured I'd submit a video discussion of sorts. Topic of discussion is how to implement or act in accordance with an anarchic ideology within the construct of American democracy. Complicated word on a complicated phrase on the simple idea: how the fuck do I be a free person in the world that I live in? To start off with an analogy, because I love analogies, I'm going to try and illustrate the symptom here. I was listening to some talk radio the other day. They were talking about legal action that you could take after getting a DUI. The legal limit here in Denver for alcohol is 0.08, which basically means having less than 1 drink per hour. Now this idea of having a chemical balance variation as a testament to the level of inebriation is too vague and doesn't count for the outliers. Good example: if a 200-pound man and a 300-pound alcoholic man and a 100-pound vegan straight-edge woman all have 2 shots, the same 2 shots, later drive around the city and get busted, who by this means of evaluation of sobriety gets the larger fine? Yet who is more likely to exhibit their drunkenness? Trying to squeeze everyone into this mold of rule by force will always result in the oppression and abuse of some of the population, even when the system is not corrupt. And when it is, you get a huge tendency towards mass oppression. To quote a Harvard sociologist whose name I won't try to pronounce, the rulers of the states are the most criminal group in a respective population. With a limitation of their powers, their criminality tends to decrease, but it still remains exceptionally high in all nations. Which brings us to a problem. There is a near impossibility of creating a straightforward anarchy from our current system. One of the few gateways into the freedom of anarchy is the libertarian approach. As all of us know, and anyone else could guess, the first problem, or one of the first problems with pitching anarchy to a cookie-cut, politically minded person is their response of, but what about the police and the schools and the roads, hospitals, postal service, licensing issues of cars, and large weapons and other destructive powers? But due to the nature of this question, all these issues fall under the same default answer of competition of free market regulated private industry. Great conservative response. But some believers, or some people believe that a few of those things are to be basic human rights, and that nobody should have to pay for them. And why should we? Why should we all have to race our entire lives? Why doesn't the advancement of technology within the human race constitute some leisure liberties? In a utopia, we should, or we would have a system to grant to all humans the benefit of the struggles of our race, of the human race. Namely, basic forms of healthcare, and transportation, and education, scholastic, communication, and compensation for non-antagonistic wrongings. So how does one go about switching people to wanting self-governance? Because they're scared. They're scared of taking the extra efforts of responsibility and of self-reliance, even if that work can bring more freedom. In a way, it's the freedom itself that they fear. Unfortunately, what can now be considered the masses have a penchant for complacency. They revel in being fed by their masters, taken for walks and being shown magic colored light box. We're seeing more and more of it as time passes, or at least I'm seeing more and more of it the more I pay attention. So what's that leave us with as possibilities and recourse? Well, we can certainly vote libertarian, but that by itself is not enough. One small reason is, the libertarian population, the political community is major minority, or is majorly in the minority. You have Ron Paul policy, non-interventionist foreign policy of a gold-backed dollar, or at least sound money, non-fiat. I personally think you have to keep it a little bit more diverse than gold, so that you don't bottleneck the vehicle of the economy. But to truly put anarchy, to put those ideas forward, and have it be understood by the layman, or by the common folk, or all those dullards, it has to be simple. It has to be concise. You have to focus on the non-complexity of the idea, of the fact that it can be understood on an instinctual level. You don't have to market it. You don't have to sell it. You don't have to mask it and roll it in sugar and candy. It's a simple idea, and once you can step outside the box of orthodox political realm, it's pretty easy to see the advantages of anarchy, or free market anarchy. So it seems like the idea is there. It's just not easily taken in by most. And this is all beside the fact that the root problem really is inflation. Obviously inside of an anarchic economic structure there would be no inflation, because there would be no Federal Reserve, there would be no central banking system at all. This inflation and this need for us to keep up with the ever-increasing cost of living is really core to the issue. Why do we have to work so damn hard to keep afloat? We have so many modern conveniences that should be taking our workloads so that we can sit and relax and think and enjoy. That's how you get to social evolution. The Greeks knew this thousands of years ago. So why are we here in what's known as one of the most powerful advanced countries in the world, and we're working harder than a lot of other countries of the same caliber, or at least technologically and socially advanced? Just wanted to put these ideas out, and hopefully get a good response back, and an education from anybody who's really interested in these issues, which I think there's plenty of that out there.